To read you the secrets of Drun. The title is The Mysterious Island. 1. The Storm. Lightning crackled and flashed outside the windows of Eric Hancock's basement. Buddy and his friend Julie could only look at the soccer ball in the corner. Boom! The thunder 2 seconds later told them the storm was only a couple of miles away. Neil is going to freak out when he sees, said Eric. Neil was Eric and Julie's friend. Julie stared over his shoulder. I'm freaking out already, she said. Let's call him. His eyes will bug out. He's got to see this now. The two friends ran up the basement stairs to the kitchen. Eric picked up the telephone and punched in Neil's number. Another flash of lightning made the phone crackle in his ear. Hello, Neil, Eric said, when his friend answered. You've got to come over right away. Are you kidding? There's going to be a humongous storm in 5 minutes, Neil replied. Besides, I'm getting ready to eat. It's lunchtime. It's always lunchtime for you, Eric said. Forget food, Neil. This is important. Neil sighed. It better be for me to pass out one of my mom's tuna fish sandwiches. I'm coming. After Neil hung up, Eric and Julie glanced out the window. The sky was getting very dark. Eric began to smile. Did they do hang out in my basement? You mean hang out in Drun? Julie added. Eric chuckled. Of course, that's what I mean. In Eric's basement, there was numerous other worlds, a world that Eric, Julie, and Neil kept secrets. The mysterious and magical world of Drun. The Drun was a palace where a good wizard called Galen Longbeard and a young princess named Kier battled a very evil sorcerer by the name of Lord Spark. Drun had all kinds of strange creatures too. Galen's assistant Max was a spider troll, half spider, half troll. He could climb on anything and spin sticky webs with his 8 long legs. And then there were the nymphs. They were Lord Spark's nasty red-faced warriors who flew around on big lizards known as Grugos, and a witch named Demeter, and boom, ba-boom, the sky flashed outside and thunder boomed just as the back door opened. Yes, Neil charged into the kitchen. I think that storm followed me. Eric opened the basement door. No time for talk. Everybody downstairs. The moment they got to the bottom of the stairs, the basement flashed white and ba-boom. The walls rumbled and splashed. Rain splashed hard against the house. Hello, storm, Julie said. All right, said Neil, stepping into the basement. What is more important than tuna sandwich? Tuna fish sandwiches? That. I pointed to the corner of the basement. The soccer ball, Julie's soccer ball, was sitting on the workbench. Actually, it was sitting above the workbench. It was floating in the air. Hua, Neil asked. I repeat, hua. Not only that, Eric said. You remember the first time we went to Drun, the soccer ball came with us, and then it did that magical thing when we came back. Well, Julie and I were looking at it before, and shh, Julie whispered. It's doing it again. By the glow of the ceiling lights, they watched the ball begin to change. The black and white patches moved slowly across the surface of the ball. The patches became the shapes of the countries. The ball itself became global. In other words, the world of Drun. It means we need to go, Julie said, looking at her two friends. What else could it mean? Last time, our dream told us to go to the Drun, Eric said. But this is different. I think it's a sign of from Kiha. Neil took a deep breath. What if something bad is happening? What if Lord Spark is like attacking Kier or Galen? Cock. The room flashed white. The light bulb in the ceiling flickered and dimmed. There is only one way to find out, Eric said. Doom da doom, thunder exploded overhead. Hurry before the power goes, Julie added. Eric felt his heart race as they went to the closure under the steps. Just like the other time, he pulled the door open and turned on the lights. They entered a small room. Where are we going to this time? Eric wondered. So far, the stage had never taken them to the same place twice, and the stairway always faded and reappeared in a new part of the room. That was just one of the secrets of the room. Julie shut the door behind them. Neil flicked off the lights. The room was dark for an instant. Then it wasn't. Whoosh. The floor vanished, and the long flight of colored stairs shimmered into the place. I love that, said Eric. A sudden cold wind blew into their faces. Ah, Julie said, hold on to the railing. Hold your nose. I smell fish. Seawater, said Eric. The stairs are over an ocean or something. Maybe we should go back. But even as he said that, it was too late. Such a huge wave of icy water splashed across the stairs. Eric's feet split out from under him. Help! He clutched for the railing. He missed. Eric! Julie gasped his hand, but another wave followed the first. Eric slid off the stairs, pulling Julie with him. She grabbed for something to hold on to. That's my foot, Neil yelled. Then I searched down too. Splash, splash, splash. The three friends hit the water hard. Julie, Neil, Eric cried. Tall waves lifted and crashed around him. I'm here, Julie shouted. Gulping for air. Something is coming, Neil yelled. A dark shape plowed across the waves. It was bow of a giant ship. Watch out for us, Eric shouted, but the ship charged toward them faster and faster. 2. Wings over water. Suddenly the ship slowed. Down sail, boomed a deep voice above them. Circle around, drop a rope. Splash. The thick rope slapped the surface of the water. Eric, Neil, and Julie grabbed hold of the rope and climbed up. The ship was huge, with red and yellow sails and blue wings that swept to the back. As he climbed, Eric read the golden letters on the ship's side. The Jaffa Wind, Jaffa City is where Princess Kia lives. There must be here boats. A strong hand reached down and helped them aboard. My friend from upwards, said a man in a long blue robe, smiling at them. It was Scarlet Longbeard, first the Wizard of Drune. You have come to us again, he said. And again, we can offer you nothing but danger. We had come. The soccer ball turned into the globe of Drune. Did Kia do that? Eric, Julie, Neil, cried Princess Kia, running over. You got my message. The magic must be working. I'm so happy to see you. She gave them a old big house even though they were soaking wet. How can anyone be happy with that thing on birds? Snapped Max. The spider turned orange hair stood on end as he pointed a small gold chest on the deck. Wow, the red eye of the dawn is in there. The red eye of dawn was jewel of amazing power. Neil, Eric, and Julie had helped Kia steal it from Lord Spar's volcano palace. We are going to hide it in Jaffa City, said Kia. We can use your help. Then my father and I are going to search for my mother. You can count on us, said Eric. A strange witch named Demeter had told them that Kia's mother was alive, but like Demeter herself, Queen Renna was under a curse. Colin nodded. But Spar will do whatever he can to stop us. It is angry hearts. It makes the red eyes dangerous. Come, we must hurry. Kaplash. Icy waves crashed against the sides of the ship as it gathered speed once again. With 2 wizard birds, we should be safe, Eric said, looking at Galen and Kia. 1.5, Kia said. I've been practicing spells, but so far, all I do is break things, like this morning. A sudden bolt of lightning lit up the sky. A dark swim streaked across the clouds. Unless I'm crazy, Lord Spar has found us, and it's not alone. Gorgus, Eric hissed, hundreds of them. The sea bubbled suddenly like a cauldron. Waves splashed up higher and higher. Rain fell on the deck in big icy drops. Looks like he's bringing foul weather with him too, Max snapped. Prepare for battle. The swarm of Gorgus flew lower over the ship. One of the flying lizards swooped down and landed on the deck. On its back was evil sorcerer himself. Lord Spar, get away from my ship! He cried. A sorcerer snarled as he slid off the Gorgus. Its bald head gleamed. The fin's black in his hand. He held a long staff. Be aware, Spar! Garland boomed. You are outnumbered. Right, and we are keeping the jewel, so you can forget about taking it. Spar's eyes splashed at the children. Oh, the magic stairs brought you again? When the eye is mine, I'll climb those stairs, the upper world. Eric shivered. Spar, in my world, my house? Without warning, Spar thrust his magic staff at the golden chest. Kabam! The box blast open, and the black-armed glove tumbled across the deck. Fitted into the glove was a red eye of dawn. You wicked creature, Garland cried. I will not let you have it. He threw a sizzling bolt of blue light at Spar. Kaboom! But Spar's staff stuck up the lights and threw it back at Garland. Then the sorcerer grabbed the glove and slid it on. Bright red light shot from its fingertips. You're far worse away, weak Garland now. The red eye dawn, show me your power. Create for me a sea of fire. Gosh, a wall of fiery water rose up suddenly. The kids tumbled to the deck. Kia, yelled Eric, to a spell. Break something big, Julie cried. Real big. Kia started to her feet and aimed her finger at the giant mast. Bamboo switch suddenly cracked. A towering mast split in half and fell towards Spar. Humph! Spar was slammed back against the main cabin. The black glove was thrown from his hand. Yes, Kia shouted. Garland leaped across the deck. Grabbing the glove, he flung it into the golden chest and held the lid down tight. Spar's face wrinkled in horror. That power belongs to me. Rise! Demeter, Eric cried. The witch? The waves thundered below. A huge green serpent burst through the water. It had this saw-like teeth and two powerful claws and long spiked tail. The witch is a sea monster now, Neil cried. The serpent twisted her mighty tail around the ship and pulled tight. The ship's planks began to break. The hose is splitting. Max yelled out, you will all drown. Spar howled, jumping back onto his Gorgus. Kia threw a thick rope to Julie. Everyone hold tight. Neil lunged and grabbed the rope. Harry, Kia yelled, take the rope. I can't reach it, he cried. The serpent would lift the ship high above the waves. She held it there for a moment and then threw it back down into the water. Crunch. The wooden hull shattered into shards, and Jaffa wind with everyone abroad broke in two. The ship sank instantly beneath the waves. 3. Shipwrecked. Eric's world went black and bubbly. No, this can't happen. I can't sink. He clawed at the icy water, trying to reach the surface. Then the waves opened up over him. Eric lifted his head out of the water. His fingers felt something soft. Was it sand? Yes, it was sand. Eric scrambled up onto it. He sucked in a deep breath. He opened his eyes. It was on land on the beach. It was alive. Julie, Neil, Kia, he called out. No answer. Eric looked to his left. All he saw was beach stretching away until it carved out of sight. He looked to the right and saw the waves splashing against the pile of rocks. Ahead of him was a thick jungle full of odd-shaped bushes and tall trees. A dark haze hung over the treetops. The whole island was covered in fog. What is this place? He said to himself. Splash! Another wave crashed against the nearby rocks. Something tumbled onto the sand. Harry ran to the rocks. The waves had washed up some broken birds and torn pieces of cloth. They were from Kiara's ship. Next to them, half covered by sand, was golden chest, Eric guessed. With the eye, he knew anything was possible. Maybe he could use it to find his friends, maybe even to fight his bar. But where was Galen? Where was everybody? Carefully, Harry lifted the chest from the sand. He opened it, but instead of finding the black glove with red stone, flames jumped up at him. Ah! Harry cried, nearly dropping the chest. Suddenly, the fire changed. Before his eyes, the fire became hundreds of snaky creatures slithering over one another. They gleamed red, then silver, then red again. Sometimes they looked like flames, sometimes they looked like rippling drops of water. To eat us, creature pleaded. Alice set the chest carefully on the sand. I'm not going to eat you, but who are you? Many tiny silver heads twisted toward him. We are sylphs. We have lived for centuries in the seas of Drun. Demeter is our queen. The sound of the creature made was more like singing than speaking. Their bubbly voices sounded as though they were talking on the water. Demeter, thank our ship, said Harry. Spa has put a curse on her one self-sang. We must do the things she doesn't want to. The eye will give Spell even more power. Harry shook his head. The eye was lost, said. No, the sage said. It is on this sea land. This is one of the Demisea's many islands. The eye is here. Where? I have to find it. I have to help Princess Kiara get it to Jaffa City. Thump, thump. A deep thumping sound came from down the beach. Hide! The Sylphus cried. Ninja are coming. Wait! He called out. Help me find my friends and tell me where the eye is. If we can help you, oh will. The creatures turned fiery red, then silver. Then they slid over the sand away into the waves. Twump. Dozens of heavy, red-faced warriors came marching slowly off the beach. Ninja, Eric gasped. I'm out of here. Eric came quickly into the thick jungle. Strange and wild plants slapped him in the face as he rested. Silvery yellow vines called down from above and dangled in the path. The ninja thumping got louder. Eric ran faster. Suddenly, the ground turned soft beneath him. Huh? He stumbled and fell. Feet? A sticky hood surrounded Eric like a snake. It pulled tight around him. He couldn't get out, and the sack with Eric inside flew into the air. He went up high into the yellow trees. Please, no! Help! I'm trapped! He couldn't escape. Twomp, twomp. The ninja marched closer.